Let me take you on a tour of my primary art closet, my supply closet. And we'll do this almost like a live shot. As we enter, on the left you can see I have my camera bags with supplies hanging from a strong nail on the wall. Below it is a wheelie cart with all kinds of oil painting supplies. Drying oil, rags, extra brushes. It's all oil painting related. To the right of this cart is the set of shelves that my husband and I put together to hold all of the various papers and flat packaging materials that I use. I try to make sure that everything that touches my paintings is archival. So this top sheet is glassine paper, and it's archival, as well as the map folder on the bottom. The shelf below my paintings is my supply of archival map folders, and I can cut them down to fit any work of art that I have on paper. I also have these acid-free clear bags in several sizes. The largest fits the full-size map folder, offering moisture protection when I ship works on paper. On the top here, I have some of the documentation that I include for clients, note cards, and a sheet on caring for artwork. Whatever I send when I ship or deliver artwork. Above the paintings, I have scrap paper. These are old paintings that have been cut up, and I use the backs for demonstrations or for testing. One shelf up, I have my 140-pound watercolor paper. I usually place a piece of archival interleaving over the top of the whole pile, just to keep dust from accumulating on that top piece. The shelf above it is where I keep my 300-pound paper. There's paper from different manufacturers, and I have them separated and marked so I can differentiate the brands. The next shelf up is where I keep my smaller scraps of watercolor paper. And then the top shelf is a kind of catch-all shelf where I place things that will eventually get relocated or filed. Now we'll back up and continue our tour. To the right of the watercolor shelves are wooden shelves, and this is where I keep my basic supplies, such as spare paints, mediums, varnish, gesso, extra palettes and containers, and all kinds of material. Below the wood shelves, I have my mostly unused canvas and panels, sitting on PVC pipe in order to give it airflow. And you'll see even more scrap paper in a bin in front of the painting there. I use all of my paper. Behind it, I have some cheap canvases just for less important demonstrations. I don't store oil paintings in here due to the darkness issue, but watercolors are fine, like this one. They're not affected by the darkness factor, even when they're on panel. Notice that the canvas and panels are grouped according to size and stacked vertically, either face-to-face or back-to-back, as we discussed earlier. Some are in packaging and others are bare. It doesn't really matter. I still store them the same way. It's more about the pressure on the surface. I have a lot of pieces here. Experts recommend limiting the number, but I find they've done fine stored this way. The only thing I've noticed about storing unused canvas and panel in here is that if I've prepared the surface with a layer of alkyd walnut medium, the surface does yellow a bit, but because they don't have any formal layers of paint, they're fine to be stored in the dark closet. Now, if we pan to the left, back to the oil painting cart, you can see I have some smaller wood boards and panels on the top. You can see I have some spare oil brushes here as well. They're my cheaper spare brushes. And notice there's no interleaving, but they're stacked like the others by size and either back-to-back or face-to-face. Now this closet is climate controlled. It's in the basement, but I keep an eye on it, so all the materials are doing great. I even have some watercolor panels stored here. Over in the opposite corner of the closet, I have watercolor backing boards, aqua board, and plexiglass. Obviously, there's no concern about darkness or the need for interleaving, as they're just used to hold the painting paper. The last storage item that I have to show you is this piece that I got from a closing retail store. It was meant to hold books, but I use it for drying oil paintings once they're safely touch dry. It holds a lot, but I do have to be careful of the thicker panels, whether they lean on the separators. Generally, it's been a really great piece of furniture. It's amazing what you can come up with if you put your mind to it and brainstorm. Years ago, I came up with this carrier, for example, when I was doing more plein air painting. I needed something for transporting my wet, thin panels. So I sized some spare styrofoam and cut slanted openings in them, as you can see here. When I placed them on the bottom, I could then fairly easily situate a wet painting in the coordinating openings. Now, these are not wet. If they were, I wouldn't be touching the front, of course. It's great because I can load it with multiple small panels and then carry the whole set by the handles on the side of the bin. So try thinking outside the box to solve some of your storage needs. Just make sure that they adhere to the basic care criteria that we learned about. In the next lecture, we're going to talk about another important topic: photographing your art.